We did a Google Hangout actually recently on PhDs, and that was really successful hangout. But this is a question that people ask quite a lot. So can I come to you first on this, Sarah, if that's okay? Interviewing, advice for somebody that's interviewing literally just after their PhD, so they don't have a massive amount of publications, not a massive amount of experience. What advice would you give somebody that wanted to really kickstart their career at that level?
It's really funny because I was just talking to somebody yesterday about this. She's going for an interview next week.
Okay.
So I think, obviously, if you got to interview, it means your CV has worked for you, and so they're interested in positive things. So it shouldn't be an issue at this stage. I think the thing is, as Paul said, you need to be really positive about everything that you've done. You need to research really well. The most important thing is that you look at the information that you can get from the research group itself. There are papers that they will have published, there will be information on their website, there will be the other members of the group and so on. If you really show that you've researched that well and show a commitment to that research project, I think at this stage you need to show really good specific knowledge like that, as well as being able to then call upon your own research skills that you've been employing and any achievements that you've made during your PhD that will show that you will be a really productive member of the group and have the right attitude. Okay.
Michelle, you said that we were talking about this just before we came on air, weren't we? So what do you want to add to that?
Yes, I mean, I'll focus it on from the delivery side, because many of the people that we interview who have just recently gained their PhD have, as part of that, carried out some teaching. So even though they're early career lecturers, as I call them, they do have some teaching experience, and I would recommend that people talk about that. What difference have they made in the classroom? Are there any initiatives that they carried out? Or if they haven't had much on-campus teaching experience, have they got involved in education in other ways? So because we're an online department, we ask people about have they participated in MOOCs, for example, because that can show them they're engaging in education in different ways.
Paul?
Again, it's just about, I mean, I think as Sarah said, if you've got to the interview stage, obviously your CV's worked. But then if you're a very early career, it's all about potential. So it's about forward thinking and making sure that message comes across in a positive way. So talk about how you're going to bring in money. Linking back to the previous question will be, this is what I plan to do in my research. These are the kind of grants I'm going to apply for in terms of research grants or teaching grants. So have a kind of a clear vision. It's obviously not going to, it's going to be hard to map it out precisely, but convey that positive message that this is where you are. This is the publications or research I've done so far. But this is my plan. This is how I'm going to fit in with your group. This is the kind of grants I'm going to target, first grant schemes, for example, and I'm going to bring in money, hopefully, in this way. So be positive, and again, think to the future, be proactive, and have a kind of plan of action. If you were to be appointed, it would be really helpful to see that demonstrated in interview, I think.
And I think it's also important that that you guys remember that are watching any job seekers, that even no matter what level you're at, that you're actually selling a product. It's one human being buying into another human being, and your experience is not the only thing that you're selling. There's always going to be somebody out there that has more experience than you. There's always going to be somebody out there that dresses better than you, that uses bigger words than you. There are always going to be these people. And the best thing for you to do is understand and identify your value as an individual. And that actually is why you do what you do, not just what you do. So employers don't just buy what you do, they buy why you do it. They buy why you get out of bed in the morning. They buy if you have a bad day on Monday, are you going to still come in and give it your all on Tuesday? If something doesn't go your way, are you going to handle it, or are you going to storm off in a strop and be a nightmare for the next week? Are they going to want to see your face every day? Going to fit in with the culture they've already got? So actually think about, why do you do what you do? Why have you chosen to do this and not be a primary school teacher, or be a lawyer, or solicitor, or work in customer service? Talk about your why, because people surround themselves with people that believe what they believe. We surround ourselves with like-minded people. Different skills, all of that, yeah, I get that. But in terms of your core value and your core motivator and your belief, we do tend to surround ourselves and certainly warm with people that are similar to us. So for them to be able to identify that, you need to identify what your values and motivators are as well. So have a really good think about that.